Tomorrow is International Youth Day, and it brings youth issues to the attention of the international community by celebrating the potential of the youth as partners in today's global society. Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, being the lead agency in road safety management and administration in Nigeria, will be putting up a program with the theme, Faces Behind the Figures. The objective is to present to the youths the faces behind the figures of road traffic crash and fatality, with a view to sensitizing them on crash prevention mechanisms using a youth-friendly approach, since road traffic crashes are the biggest cause of death and injuries for young people. Joining us now is Jesutomipe Mala, Route Commander, Youth Safety Education Officer, FRSC Lagos Sector Command. Good morning, Ms. Mala, and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. I like your first name.
Oh, thank you. Highly esteemed Dr. Abati.
Calling the name with so much flourish. But tell us about this Faces Behind Figures youth safety program. I mean, most of the people who drive recklessly are adults. You keep wondering whether age is synonymous with wisdom. But now you are targeting youths.
All right.
Is it just because tomorrow is International Youth Day, or you have young people also driving recklessly like adults all over?
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm Jesutomipe Mala once again, the Youth Safety Education Officer. And Road Safety Youth Hangout is about speaking to the Nigerian youths on road safety matters. FRSC Lagos, we started commemorating the day in 2021. This is the 3rd edition. And then the target audience then was the NYSC members. We had a campaign with them. In 2022, we had another one. You know, we called that a road safety youth walk. We had a walk to speak to youth and tell them that they are not invisible when it comes to road safety matters. You know, bearing in mind that 7 out of 10 victims of road traffic crashes are usually youths. And then the way at which we lose Nigerian youths to death as a result of road traffic crash is so high. And then we know that a lot of things have actually caused this. Driving under the influence of alcohol, excessive speed, use of phone while driving, which we call distracted driving. You know, we have cases where people tell you, oh, I have my Bluetooth. If either it's a Bluetooth or a red tooth or a purple tooth. It's called distracted driving. So we have a list like that, and then driving one way and so on. Then majorly, youths are really, really involved in all these things. Like statistics have shown that driving under influence of alcohol and the crashes related to them happens majorly on Fridays and Saturdays. And that's to tell you, that is when the youths want to hang out. That's when they go to clubs, they go to parties, and then we have a lot of crashes related to driving under influence of alcohol. When our men go to rescue these crash victims in the middle of the night, you see bottles of different alcohols and what have you, they smell, and then we lose many of them. And that's to tell you their life is not worth wasting all because of a party. And then we are now saying, okay, it's no longer one for the road, as they used to say, it is none for the road. And the best way to get to these youths, to preach to them, to speak to them, is to go through the celebrities they really, really respect and they look up to. Before an average, youth would actually go and check what's FRSC saying today. You would have visited Rufai's Twitter handle. Let's see the violence is giving us today. You get the memo, right? So naturally, youths, they're attracted to celebrities, right? And then we said, okay, let's unveil some new celebrities also. Let's call these people to use their platform and their influence to speak to Nigerian youths. And that's why we put up the event, Road Safety Youth Hangout.
Brilliant. I mean, that's a really great hangout and initiative, and I'm glad that the FRS is looking for creative ways to pass this message on to the youth. So tell us, beyond the celebrity marshals you've talked about, what are the other unique areas to drive home these messages? Are you exploring other platforms, other options, other things beyond tomorrow's Youth Hangout Day, which is really great, by the way?
All right. So some of the celebrities coming on board, we have music icons, we have comedians and all those ones. They will also use their platform to preach safety. And then one major thing we'll be talking about is about the first responders. Many a time people get to crash scenes and then every youth wants to take a picture. I want to be the first person to post this picture. I want to be the first person to do this. And then you see the victims lying there. They need help. They need somebody to give them a chance of survival. I've been trained by the American Heart Association as a first responder, and then we have parts of our body that if you bleed from there, you can lose all the blood in your body in minutes and you will die. And then you get there and you're taking pictures and this person is dying. So I want to also speak to them and let them know there are things you can do when you get there. We are trying to train people as first responders. That would just be a side attraction. Right. And then we have other NGOs that have been partnering with the Federal Road Safety Corps to train people as first responders, at least when you get there. If you cannot even do anything, dial the emergency toll-free number for the Federal Road Safety Corps, which is 122. And of course, Lagos State's emergency number is there. You have 767, you have 112. Do something. Don't just get there and watch. Only CPR can actually bring somebody to life, right? You know, we've seen cases of footballers that slumped during, you know, in the pitch, and all they would have needed was a CPR to bring them back. And then people just die carelessly. It's so painful how people lose their lives to little things that would have, you know, really, you know, somebody should have done something. Right? So I want to speak to them. They should get trained. At least every member of a family should be a first responder. Your mom can collapse. She might need CPR. Your brother might be bleeding. Tie a tourniquet. Make sure you know, times when people have a crash, they rush there, they pour water. And that is not what you are supposed to do. You don't pour water on the person's head. You think you are bringing back the consciousness? No. You need to put the person in a recovery position. Check. Has anything entered the person's mouth that is blocking the person from breathing? You check. You know, you check for the heart. You check if the heart is breathing. You check a lot of things. You know, in Dr. ABC of the first responders training, the D says danger. Check. Do you have danger around? R is for rescue. Call on emergency numbers. Call people around. Is there any first responder around? Can you do anything? The A stands for the hair, you know, hair and airways. You check the airways. Sometimes when a crash happens, the person might just be eating meat pie or is drinking water and the crash happens because crash doesn't tell anybody when it's going to happen. It's only in movies that you know it's going to happen and it comes in a slow motion. But in the real sense, it takes seconds and it's going to happen. So any action might be going on at that point in time. So you check the airways of the person. Is the person breathing? You've checked all those things. Is there circulation? There are parts to check. Does he have pulse? I've had a situation whereby they checked the pulse of the person from the hands, you know, they checked the neck. All you have to do, take your 2 fingers, place it here. You will feel it. I want you to try that, please. Dr. Abati, check your pulse. 2 fingers here. You can feel it. Can you feel it? That's it. So in a case whereby you have a victim and then you feel, oh, this person is dead, check for the pulse. It might just have a pulse. And then the person will be brought back to life. So there was this case of a person that they've checked all the pulse and they're like, oh, he's dead. Thankfully, somebody came and checked the armpits, you know, because they are part of the body you can't just touch, at least, you know. And then there was pulse in the armpits. They almost confirmed the person dead. So these are the things we want to teach them. Like, know a little about your first aid. Know something. Road safety is a shared responsibility. The moment I put off this uniform, I'll be looking just like you. The uniform is not the work. It is what you can do. It is the help you can actually render to the road user.
So, couple of things. Can we have like this full training? It's sort of like a video form that can be shared multiple times online. And I can offer to share it on my social media page for you.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. This full training, maybe 2 or 3 minutes package.
Okay.
That can be shared multiple times online, number one.
All
Number
right.
two, how do we tackle the problem of, you see, the reason why people don't want to go there and respond and just take pictures and go is because if in a case that the person dies and the police meets you there, they now turn the case on you. And that's why people don't want to touch them. It's not that people don't want to touch them. So take, for instance, you're trying to do CPR or anything, and the person dies. You have to now go and write a statement, and they put it on you and all of that. How do we solve all of that, you know, conundrum? But if you have 2-3 minutes of those videos, we could probably push as much as possible.
That's fine.
Yeah, make it short, because not everybody will come to that training. Not everybody will listen to that training.
That's right.
But something quick like that, you know, can be pushed on pages, 2-3 minutes, and they can get 1 or 2, you know, insight like that.
That's fine. We have NGOs that are partnering with us. I don't know if it's fine to, like, you know, they actually partner with us to train people. Like last year, Health Emergency Initiative last year, we trained 300, and Lay First Responders International, we trained 350 commercial drivers, not just commercial drivers. We noticed that before the Federal Road Safety Corps we got there, before the police or the last man will get there, there are people around. You see that vulcanizer by the roadside? He saw the crash when it happened. You see that petrol attendant? He was there when it happened. You see that mechanic on the road, the tow truck driver? They get to see all those things before the safety personnel get there. So we now had to think outside the box. Let's train these people. So we picked them from different locations on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Lekki, Ikorodu, Apapa, Surulere, Ikeja, and we trained about 350 of them. as first responders. And now to answer the second question, and then some of the fears they had was, if police get there, what would they do?
Yeah.
So after the training, we gave them reflective jackets, which has a number, and then of course it's there written as FRSC, and of course the partners, which is LFR and HEI. So if anything happens and they have their unique number, if it happens, you were trying to help. You did not go there with the intention
What if they forgot the jacket at home that day? It happened.
Now, they have access to FRSC, they have access to the NGOs. Just put a call through, because we know you've been trained.
What if there are those that don't have access to FRSC and they learned that training somewhere else in the world, or they watch it and they perfected it?
There's something about confidence. If you can defend what you are doing, even if the person dies, you can tell them, I'm a trained first responder.
After police has slapped you many times.
No, police wouldn't do that. I don't think that bad, because sometimes 2-3 years ago, this question actually came up, and then I was on here with the PRO of police then. I think it's CSP Chike Oti now. I was in a station with him, and then we discussed it, because people kept saying, they are interested, but they don't want police wala. And these were his words. Police does not mean to hold you and say you are the person that killed him or her. They just need the history of the event, as simple as that, because they want to know, okay, you got there first. You helped the person. What happened? How did it happen? Did you see the vehicle that hits this person in case it's a hit and run? How did it happen? They just need history. They want to know. But many a time as Nigerians, because of our reception for like the way we don't really want to have police issues. Like, I don't want anything police. So it's not that bad, sincerely. But they need to know, because it is their work for investigation and the likes. They need the history of the crash. So you must answer questions.
Okay, just 2 quick things.
All right.
You mentioned certain celebrities that will become marshals. Okay?
All right.
We one of our own here, Adesu Omorwan, is a corps marshal, celebrity marshal.
Oh, really?
Special marshal. So, but would you like to share with us the names of some of those people that will be unveiled tomorrow? And then, more importantly, you are a route commander.
Yes, please.
So, safety, very important. But there is a court of appeal ruling, Court of Appeal Asaba, upholding the judgment of a lower court, saying that, look, road safety officials should only operate on federal routes, not state routes. I don't know whether you are the right person to ask, but you are a route commander.
Yes.
As a route commander, do you think that ruling
when I read that, and I told people, people were calling me, Officer Mala, they said this. I said, okay. When a crash happens on a state road, when a crash happens, and then you call the Federal Road Safety Corps, will you tell me it's a state road or a local government road or a street? Nobody thinks about if it's a federal road or a state road when there are emergencies. I think it's just so sad that we get so beclouded about, we don't want this, we don't want that. But when we are rendering the help, I know the number of crash victims we have saved. We have a group whereby we share all these things. We just can't be showing the public how bad these things are. I've seen crashes where we rescue people, you see somebody head cut off. I've seen it. I've seen crashes whereby somebody's leg is there and the other leg is there. We'll now be checking the shoes. Oh, the shoe matched this one. On state roads, on local government roads. So when it comes to safety, there is no need of saying, what road is this? It's a safety matter. And then your life has got no duplicate. You don't have the option to come back and say, okay, now I agree with what you are saying. It's a safety matter. So it's a shared responsibility. We should look beyond that. We should look beyond where somebody is operating and the other person is operating. Crashes happen anywhere and at any time. So we should look beyond what road should this person operate. Does this person have the right to ask me this? Does this person have the right to ask me that?
As we begin to wrap up, who are those celebrities and where is the event
tomorrow we'll be having Pastor Itua Igodalo. We have Morayo Afolabi Brown. We'll be having Dr. Lanre Olushola, the Catalyst. We'll be having Coach Lara Yeku. We'll be having Femi Adebayo Salami, Funsho Adeolu, Bukumi Adeaga Kiki. We'll be having Damola is my name, Mr. Medi will be there. We have Dr. Benga Jibwa, and a very long list. And of course, our Miss Africa, Precious Okoye. We have Chuks Hayoduba. It's a long list. We have about 25 to 30 of them that will be inducting tomorrow. And it's happening live at the Ajib Recital Hall.
Where?
Muson Center.
Muson.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Well,
tomorrow,
thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
My producer has been saying he has been feeling his pulse.
Oh, really?
He can't locate it. Maybe you will help him.
I'll help him check afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Jesutomipe
Mala, Route Commander, FRSC, Lagos State Command. Thank you very much for joining us.